Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to join the Discord. We will be rating stuff. We will be rating tweets, Robinhood tweets, CEO of Robinhood tweets, and there was another person related to Robinhood, which has way less followers, which means he'll definitely be seeing our stuff very, very soon. So the link to join Discord is at the top of the description. Make sure to click it. Just click the link, click join. That is it. We already have a couple of people that have joined, and I want to set up an army. I want at least a decent amount of people in here, so every time we send out tweets, we raid, like we truly raid. Okay, so that is that. So make sure to join a community, right? Because your influence is very important. Remember, one ant might not do a lot, but a colony of ants is very, very influential. Okay, with that being said, let's just jump right into this, right? Something I didn't even realize, ladies and gentlemen, which is actually very, very bullish, is that Bybit, they don't even have Turbo listed, right? They do not have Turbo listed on their exchange, and Turbo is doing actually really great without them. So what does that mean when Bybit will eventually list Turbo? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you guessed it. We're going to do even better. And the thing is, Bybit is actually very, very huge. 5 million followers. We can see it's not really botted. They have good engagements, right? Good engagements, good amount of likes. I mean, it's a crypto site. They're not going to have too many insane engagements, but we can see they are one of the big boys, and we're not listed on this yet. So we get listed on Bybit. We're going to get listed on Robinhood eventually. And oh my gosh, closer to altcoin season. Altcoin season going to be happening, and things will be insane. I'm super, super excited. So, we will be getting listed on Bybit eventually. I do believe in it. We might even start rating their tweets too, because it's like, hey, you have so many other coins that are worse. Why not list an actual good meme coin? Right? Meme coin with potential. When we go to the news of Turbo, there's not much news. There's actually nothing at all. But we will be discussing some fundamentals. We will be discussing a few other things. So, let's just get off of Twitter and let's see what is popping, right? We can see 150 million market cap. We are 249th in the world currently. 30 million volume, very, very low, but this is being recorded on the weekend, so it doesn't really matter about the weekend's volume. It's always poor. Like, who cares? Who cares about the weekend's volume? It is always, always poor. When we go to the holders, ladies and gentlemen, we can see we're pretty much back to all-time high. Yes, we had a little bit more the other day, but going up and down is just normal thing of life. Like, you're not always going to be going straight up in life, and that is just a fact. And same thing with holders, right? Especially during a rough time in the markets, you expect to go a little bit lower. But generally speaking, if I was able to zoom out on the bigger picture, we've actually been growing the last couple of weeks, right? It's not like we were at 55,000 holders, now we're down to 53,000. No, we have been growing despite things going down. And even though, we lost like 2 or 3 holders during the weekend, it doesn't matter, because once things start turning green, we're going to get that back instantly, right? Instantly. So we'll discuss a few things, right? We'll discuss a few things. First of all, decent potential reversal candle. We are kind of in the middle of nowhere. This is the full-on pullback reaction I was looking for, the 0.0015. It would fully cover the imbalance. It would literally go on top of this, right? On top of this support, and perfect place to bounce off. But it technically doesn't have to, right? It technically doesn't have to. If we take it from the all-time highs with the Fibonacci tool to pretty much, I would say, the relevant bottoms, I was pretty much using this area over here, right? This support, then we are down a little bit more than 88%. Now, I know that may be scary for some of you, because that means if you put 10K at the literal top, you're down to roughly $1,000. So not the most ideal, but let me tell you, it is not over. It is not over. We do have 2 weeks left roughly in this month, and I'm looking for a nice recovery. I'm really looking for a nice recovery the last 2 weeks, so we could actually get a nice rejection candle. Because the thing is, right, if we flip this 3-month candle into a nice rejection candle, that's going to be like what I call a rocket candle, right? A big liquidity sweep where we sweep money, we get market correction, and then we get a nice retracement back to key levels where we have to close. The next couple months should be fantastic, right? They should be fantastic. So, I am looking for the markets to be generally recovering, right? We have swept some liquidity recently. Now, I will say for me to be extremely bullish in terms of my confirmation, I do want to, at the minimum, recover back to these levels of 0.003 and actually hold it, right? Actually hold it, not drop below. And that's when I can say confidently that we are in a reversal, right? In the early times, I could say that, based off what I see and based off the different market reactions, I would be taking longs at this current moment, right? I really, really would. I don't think we're going to get a full on crash with something like Bitcoin to like 70K, because things are looking pretty bullish, right? In terms of liquidity, market liquidity, we are supposed to be expecting some kind of liquidity back into the markets very, very soon over the next week or two, which also aligns perfectly with the 3-month candle closing. And, I expect the next few months to be absolutely banger. I expect things to generally start recovering, start peaking, probably the first time in the summer/early fall. That is my expected date. Remember, people, we are still on track. Just some things didn't turn out the way we thought they would or as fast, but we are technically still on track. The main reason why I can say this is because of Bitcoin dominance, right? Bitcoin dominance is still going up. I believe Bitcoin's creating a higher low, and I do believe we're eventually going to get something like this where we go up and then we're going to go sideways, crash down, and that's when Turbo and every other coin is going to pop off. So really, really exciting times. I do want to talk about Bitcoin just very, very quickly in this Turbo video because it is important, right? We have officially filled the 78K gap, so we don't even have to go down any lower. And by the looks of how everything's closing, it looks fantastic, right? It looks fantastic. We are consistently closing higher and higher in terms of daily candles. So I expect a push up to the upside, right? We do have a little bit of a gap when it comes to this current moment. Like Bitcoin has to go up a couple $100 more to fill this little small gap, and we still have to fill the gap at $86,000. Other than that, there are no more gaps, no more gaps to be filled. Nothing is in terms of gaps. We are fine. We are chilling now. We could start recovering, especially that liquidity is coming into the market, especially that over here there are more signs of consolidation and reversal signs, which means, ladies and gentlemen, yes, you heard it, Turbo will most likely start reversing too. And even just, even if it doesn't start reversing yet and you're hesitant about buying, let's say, because some of you guys might be buying, look at it, right? The Fibonacci tool, it means from this top to this point right now, we are over at 90% down, which is a discount, right? If something was 90% off, would you be buying? The answer is yes, right? I know some of you guys don't have money. I know some of you guys have money or are waiting on the sidelines. But if you do have money, the question is, would you be buying now? If something was 90% off, more or less, and it's going to go up in value, would you buy it? The answer is yes. That is why I have been dollar cost averaging, because I am getting into very, very prime areas. I said this before and I'll say it again. I think like the worst case scenario is probably getting equal highs. So like back to 1.5 cents to 2 cents, right? The worst, the worst, the worst. So even if I thought the worst was there, this is still for me a 6.5 times gains, or even upwards of here, 9 times gains, like the worst of the worst. So I'm going to be taking the risk because I still believe in this coin. We still have Bybit to get on. We still have Robinhood to get on. And we have a strong community. We really, really do. One of the best in the whole crypto scene, okay? Especially when it comes to meme coins. And that is just a fact. That is just a reality. So, really, really exciting times, people. Really, really exciting times. I get it's still a little bit boring right now, but trust me, things will start recovering sooner than later. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you have survived this long and you will survive. Think about the main point is from point A to point Z. There will be a time where things are going to be pumping super, super hard, and you will have to say goodbye to Turbo, unfortunately. Because even if you believe Turbo would eventually hit higher prices, you got to remember everything has to cycle out. But we'll talk about that more in the future. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.